Hi all, welcome to Drones Done Under podcast. Danny, how we doing?
Hey, not too bad, Sean. How you doing today, mate?
Good, brother. Good. Excited today. We got a rumors episode, as you know. So we're going to talk about the Phantom 4 RTK killer.
Ooh, and what would the Phantom 4 RTK killer be, Sean?
Thank you for asking. Could it be the Mavic 3 Enterprise, Danny?
I hope it is, because as we all know, my mutual hate for Phantoms. They're an obsolete drone these days, and my Phantom's a display model now.
I think we all know about it because there's plenty of episodes on YouTube that we've got with you mocking it. So yeah. So what are we thinking? What have you heard, Danny? What can you share with
Eh,
us?
I've heard a lot of things. So far, they're only rumors. Hopefully, we'll have some confirmed specs sooner or later.
Yeah.
Definitely want to thank our source, Drone XL, because they are a plentiful source of information for the drone industry. I guess we'll start with the first rumored specs. It kind of sounds like it's a H20T, but just smaller. With
Right.
So you got a laser rangefinder, which is really good for when you're tracking anything. I've never really found another use for laser rangefinding. Have you?
Um, Not really, other than just pointing to something in the distance, going, "Hey, look how cool that range is." But I
Would you
think,
say
well,
would you say
on
it's
the
useful for line of sight surveys or not really? Because it's only
well,
1.2
if
kilometers
it's with
through.
1.2, perhaps. But I was gonna say, obviously the H20T, we know it's 1.2, so I presume it's going to be somewhere in that kind of range. I would have thought. Um, so
Yeah.
you've got, and what about the sensor? What's the
Well,
feedback on that?
I've heard rumors of a 1-inch CMOS sensor. I'm kind of hoping they have a bigger sensor like the actual Mavic 3 standard or the Cine has, where it's
Yeah.
the micro four thirds from memory. Um, Between 20 and 24 megapixels, which I think is kind of the sweet spot because it's big pixels still, and plenty of data still.
And I guess payload wise, that kind of configuration, presume it's going to be similar body shapes to the Mavic 3s.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
guessing they wouldn't change too much about the body. Maybe have the additional add-ons they can put on top, like the Mavic 2 Enterprise Advanced, longest
Yeah.
name possible for a drone, where you can actually have the adaptive. You've got the beacon, you've got the speaker. What else is there? There's one other one. Beacon,
RTK.
RTK, and the spotlight.
Spotlight. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah. I'm hoping it'll have all the same attachments. If we're lucky, USB-C type still. Anyway, so back to that payload. What else? What else do you reckon it's going to have on it? What are your rumored specs?
Well, as you know, my favorite sitting right beside me there on top of the printer. We've got a couple of these in the company, and for us, it's been a great workhorse, very trustworthy drone. It's obviously been around a long time, and we've known DJI is keen to sort of get rid of that line and not phase it back in by any means. And look, other than its form factor, which is clearly quite large, I love the Phantoms, as we know, it's been on record. So, um, are we going to get rid of it to replace the Mavic 3 Enterprise? Not likely, because it's proven, and
A
we all
little
know it.
birdie, a little birdie told me you got them on Facebook Marketplace already.
I got one of them, mate. One of them. We got like six. So
Maybe,
we need to pay
just
for
say
things.
true. Got to pay for new drones and new episodes of the podcast, right?
That's it. That's it. Unless we got a sponsor. Yes. So look, I think we'll obviously do some testing once it's released and see how it goes. But we know what the Phantom 4 RTK delivers. Um, for us, a lot of it's been around mapping. So there's a lot of mapping functions that we'll be looking for and compare. So it'll be interesting to see what's available in the Mavic 3 Enterprise. So from a mapping perspective, because I think that's where the Phantom 4 RTK was very strong. And over the years, I guess that's always been improved. Um,
Well, the
yeah,
new generation's coming through then. Hopefully it is a big improvement.
yeah, for sure, for sure. I think the form factor is the biggest thing. I think clearly much less to carry about, easily condenses down, and we can obviously carry much more batteries than what's sitting behind on the other side, where the beast, where we know how many battery cases we have to carry.
And there goes
So
all your check-in luggage. not check in, you got to carry all those batteries on, guys.
That's it.
That's it. It's like when you're comparing like the M300 to the M30, the M300, yes, it is worlds apart, but it's also like 5 times the size. Plus, you've got your RTK, you got the actual drone itself, and the battery case. It's too much to carry when you literally put the M30 on your back in a backpack.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I guess in that case, you got payloads that you can swap in and out, which the M30 doesn't allow. So again, it depends what you want.
Well, back to payloads. So what else do you reckon this Mavic Enterprise might have?
Well, probably props, removals. Props if you got issues, I guess, which probably no big deal, but again, matters swapping it out easily because again, something like an M300, much more difficult to swap out.
You're not changing those quickly.
I think it's all those convenience factors. So I think, and then sensors, clearly, we want to have lots of sensors. I'm sure it's not going to be a cheap drone. If we compare it to what the Mavic 2 Enterprise was. So
it would look probably around the 10 to 15 grand mark somewhere, depending if you get, say, if there's a thermal variant, that's another option.
Yep. So I think given where the Mavic 3 consumer drones are and the Cine drone, somewhere around 7K from memory.
Yep.
I can't see this being much less than that, right? So
it'd have to be more. Surely, as soon as you add on a payload that's got, say, like the H20N or whatever it is, when you got that zoom, the wide angle, laser rangefinder, thermal, that just jacks up the price. But in the end, you're getting what you pay for. It's an inspection drone. It's for the enterprise market. Yeah, look, from all the rumors that are on Drone XL, it sounds very promising.
Yeah. So I think, like we said, mapping is going to be a big function we want from an enterprise perspective. We want reliability on the RTK clearly, because if you're going to use it for mapping, clearly it's going to be connecting to some sort of DRTK2 station. So let's see how that works. And then I guess control, right? So if it's an enterprise controller, you want to either use a WB37 battery because you're sort of doing that sort of stuff all through the day.
Yeah.
And
batteries to last. Well, I guess that's a bit of your wish list then. The top of your list, would you say, is the remote, or what else would you want in there?
Yeah, I'd say the remote, because I think again, with the Phantom 4 RTK, we were able to put in a WB37. Obviously, it's got an integrated screen on it, so you're not obviously enterprise stuff you're not putting in your phone or an iPad, but that battery, they last you good 2 to 3 hours, right? So it's great that you can actually swap in and out. It's not hot swapping, but it's better than having to find a place to recharge.
Yeah, exactly, and they're good. They do charge quickly in that BS60 charger. We over here we've got plenty of them, and I just can't have them on a constant rotation.
Yeah,
between the RTK and the actual enterprise remote, it's the best thing.
Yeah. So I think other than that, they're probably and I think, sorry, one of your points there is ingress protection, right? So clearly,
and I want to fly this thing in the rain and soak it with a fire hose and not have the drone grounded. I've seen all the videos of the M30 and I want to have a soaked drone just to say we can.
Yeah. Again, I'm not overly familiar with the Mavic 2 Enterprise because obviously we've had the Phantom 4 range with us. So it'll be interesting to sort of see the differences, that I'm sure we'll do a deep dive once we've actually get our hands on the drone, compare it to the Mavic 2 Enterprise and 3 and see where the differences are really based on. So
definitely. Well, one other thing I'd like to add as well, mechanical shutter. If that's on my wish list. If that has a mechanical shutter, chef's kiss.
Yeah, no, that's a great point, because that's obviously the Phantom 4 RTK, as we all know. Actually, even the Phantom 4 Pros. So
exactly,
it's in their range, and the Obsidian.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I reckon hopefully I think the rumors are within the next month or so. So once it launches, I guess if everyone stays tuned, comes back to see our side-by-side comparison, hopefully we'll have some good data for you. We might be able to show you some models as well.
Yep, it's exciting. So we're hoping, what are we going to summarize, Danny? Mechanical shutter.
Mechanical shutter, hopefully RTK is a must.
Yeah.
Ingress protection would be nice, but I'm not holding my breath on it because in the end it is still going to be the Mavic body kind of thing. So Probably not as sealed as the enterprise versions of the M series.
Micro Four Thirds sensor, perhaps, or 1 inch for sure. So,
Definitely.
are they kind of the main four?
Yeah, that's
we want?
pretty much it for me. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be the Phantom Killer. Bring it on.
Oh, Phantom Killer. Until the next one. Thanks for today, man. Chat
Peace
soon.
out. Have a good one, mate. Bye.